Hello everyone and welcome to the course Technical Communication. Today we are going to start with lecture 15 and that is about presentation skills. We have already talked about presentation skills. What are they in the part 1. I am Professor Sugandha Mittal, Assistant Professor, Applied Science and Humanities, ABS IT. Before talking about what we are going to discuss in this particular video, I'll be giving a glimpses of what we discussed earlier in the previous video. And that was all about what actually is presentation skills, what are the different forms of presentations, what are the do's and don'ts that you have to carry out during a presentation. Now, types of visual aids that can be used and how it can be used and how it enhances a presentation. Also, we discussed about main parts of a presentation, that is introduction, body and conclusion. So body language also we talked about, and paralinguistic features that are used in presentation and that makes your presentation effective. We discussed in presentation skills part 1. Now in part 2, we are going to discuss the types of presentation, then interpersonal presentation or communication, classroom presentation, then introduction to individual conferencing, and then essentials of individual conferencing. So first of all comes types of presentation. Types of presentations are 1. Individual presentation and group presentation. Individual presentation when participation of single person or organization on a theme. So when there is a participation of only one person is there and he is addressing several people, that is called individual presentation, which you might have seen at a lot of places. Whereas if you talk about group presentation is made by a sum of people. Now it can be business presentation where in the office a project or a presentation is being given by a whole team, or if you talk about any project that has been given in college or school to the group of students, right? So they present their project or do the presentation in front of the audience, that is called group presentation. Now we come on to interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication, although talked about many times, but again let us revise it. So interpersonal communication has following characteristics. It is face-to-face communication. Whenever you are doing, you are interacting with somebody. Interpersonal means between two people or more than two people. So it is between. Inter means between. So it is face-to-face communication performed through verbal and non-verbal. It is not that it is only spoken, but non-verbal cues are also used along with the verbal language. One can communicate formally or informally. It can be both ways. It involves independent person. So independent people are involved while interacting because they are the one who are involved in presentation. So this is one kind of picture where it depicts that two people are involved in talking and the message is being transmitted, whereas the feedback is being given to the sender. So sender and receiver, it is interpersonal communication. Now elements of interpersonal communication, and elements are: one is sender, another one is receiver. The sender sends a message to a receiver and receiver in turn gives the feedback through a channel. It could be anything. It could be face to face. So here we are talking about face to face interpersonal communication. Now if I talk about barriers, then barrier can occur at the place of sender. Also it can occur at the place of receiver. So it can be anyhow. The noise could be anywhere, at the end of the sender or at the end of the receiver. Now types of interpersonal communication, they are verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So either you communicate verbally, either spoken or written, or non-verbal communication, that is using the sign language, postures, gesture, body language, paralinguistic features, they all come in non-verbal communication. Now there is one topic called classroom presentation. So what is classroom presentation? Students, you must be aware of, or you must have faced several situations where you have to talk on a topic. Either you are given on the spot or you are being asked to prepare on a topic. So classroom presentation is when you present yourself in front of the entire class. Now, a teacher also presents her when she comes for a lecture. She also does the presentation part. She is involved in oral presentation wherein she is teaching the students. A classroom presentation is a two-way communication. It is never one way. As a lecture involving question and answer method, but the presentation is presented by a presenter. There is one entity who is giving the presentation, but it is not, but involvement is from the both parties. The question and answer mode can go on either in the lectures. The presenter addresses the specific audience, as in your class, might be your whole department, might be more than department, entire school, college, right? With the help of audiovisual aids. Now you use different audiovisual aids, you use pictures, you use animations, you use audios, videos, and different other ways to convince people to agree on your terms or on your viewpoint, what you want to actually present. The students get the opportunity to make presentations in the classroom after completing a project by sharing their views. As I said, when a task is being given to you, when a project is being given to you, you complete the project and you present in front of your class, right? So you get the opportunity to speak up, to present yourself, to open up and to build that confidence level and share your views, what your views are, or you want to enhance the intellectual powers of others as well along with yours. Classroom presentations help in building confidence among the students. So this is one of the very good methods to develop confidence level in you. So it is always and highly recommended to speak as much as you can in school, class, or colleges, so that you open up and you are able to present yourself. Because my dear learners, you, as you know, in the business world, in the market, one has to present himself or herself to get that success, right? So why not start from the beginning? That is why right from your childhood, right from your kindergarten days, you are being exposed to role play presentations wherein you play a role of a certain individual. Like if you are playing a role of a doctor, a nurse, or a teacher, or anything. So you do role playing just to enhance your speaking abilities, speaking skills, right? So this is to build the confidence. Now, there are certain presentation skill tips for students. Number one, main points are the backbone of your presentation. So you always keep the points jotted so that either on in your mind, or the other way is to prepare the notes or prepare the cue cards, which is the next point. You should not read from the notes. It is a big no, right? You should not refer to the notes and keep reading from it. Yes, definitely you can refer to cue cards, that is the hints written, and then you can speak on your own, depending on the format. So next is use visual aids like slides, charts, graphs to illustrate your points. So this is how you enhance your presentation. You use PPTs, you use different objects to define, you use files, you use maps, pictures, charts, graphs, even audios to make your presentation worthy and interesting. You dress appropriately. It is a big no to dress in an inappropriate way. See, in this picture, I want to depict that there are certain postures that you should adopt. Now, this one is a closed one and this one is open, which is welcoming. You have to dress appropriately. You know what is the attire for a formal presentation. So you should adhere to that thing. You should always speak clear and loud enough. Loud enough as in you do not have to shout, but you have to be loud enough to so that you are able to be your voice is audible to even the last person sitting in the particular hall or class. Last point is you prepare good content and focus on presentation skills. So it should not be a work of hurry. You should always prepare good content to talk on and should focus on presentation skills by focusing on body language, the way you are going to carry yourself, how you are going to position your hands, how much movement you are going to do, or you're going to become a rock. That is not at all, which I discussed all these points in the previous video. Even the tone, the voice, speed, pitch, and there are other ways, the space that you create and how much space you create, that is the proximity, that is how much space you build in front of your audience. Then study of time, chronomics is also important while giving your presentation. So you have to adhere to the time also. You have to take care of time management. Now, methods of classroom presentation, it could be both verbal and non-verbal mode. It involves both of them. Consider classroom as a podium for presentation. Podium as in you are there to speak your viewpoint. Voice should be clear and loud, maintain right tone, positive tone, pitch and speed, not too fast, not too slow, an average and a good speed. Make use of appropriate facial expressions and gestures. Whatever you are speaking, it should match your facial expressions and gestures, right? Then style of classroom presentation. It should be systematic. There should be a proper system where you are, it should be logical. The idea should be presented logically. It should have a beginning, middle or end, as in introduction, body part and conclusion. Level of content should match the level of audience. It is not that you want to present your high on vocabulary or maybe your greater skills, but you have to consider your audience while presenting, right? It should be comprehensible, is understandable to your audience and is interesting to the listener. Then only they'll be able to listen. They will sit and listen to you properly. Otherwise, there's no use of that presentation when people are not interested in listening to you. That is talking to yourself, which you can do in a lonely place or in your confined room. Next is individual conferencing. Now, what is individual conferencing? Learners, I discussed what is conferencing. Conferencing is to confer, to talk. So here individual conferencing is being done with the students either individually or in a group. So here we are going to discuss only individual. Individual conferencing is when you are talking to an individual person, maybe counseling, or there are different other sessions that are being done from time to time. Individual conferences are designed with a purpose, and their purpose is to help an individual achieve his goals. So it is for the betterment of an individual. The skill of conferencing or oral presentations play a decisive role in enhancing the stature and influencing decisions. So you are able to make good decisions. You are able to enhance your stature, your position, your aura with others. It can elevate the status of a person with bigger responsibilities and assignments. So individual, when somebody or an expert is individually conferring to you, that means that he is understanding you and may find the hidden capabilities and capacity that you can show and the power that you can do. So it could be helpful in achieving those assignments and responsibilities and elevating your status. Now, what are the essentials for individual conferencing? It should be conducted in privacy. When we are talking about individual, then definitely this is a one go, that is you have to be talking individually. I mean, two people should be involved, wherein a group is not involved. It should be always in privacy. The person who conducts the individual conference should have a positive outlook. Now, if I don't have a positive outlook, then how can I counsel you? I can't. So one who is conferring with the other, he should have a positive outlook. Then only the best outcome is there out of any talk. The conferencing sessions should be conducted from time to time. Now, they should be conducted from time to time according to the need of the hours. See, students or learners, you also have such type of things that sometimes you need someone to address you, to talk to you, to listen to your ideas, to appreciate or to correct yourself. So in that case, you talk to your the closest teacher, faculty member, maybe parents, maybe friends, maybe a guide, right, a mentor, where you get the ideas, or if any difficulty or problem is coming, or if any barrier is coming your way, it can be removed, right? So it should be conducted from time to time according to the need of the hour. So this is one of the tasks that is being involved in nowadays. You must have seen currently in your schools also now this individual conferencing has started, because it has been observed that students are going on a wrong path. They know they can do various things, but still there is something that is being maybe due to the current scenario, maybe due to the current technology which is being used, which is being misused. So individual conferencing or counseling sessions are done from time to time. It should be done so as to improve the success, improve the condition, or improve the position of the other person. So that was all about presentation skills so far. But yes, definitely we are going to discuss more about presentation skills. We are going to discuss about different modes of presentation, methods, nuances of presentation, and competence, and various other things that has to be discussed so far. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You understood the video. Whatever we talked about, you understood it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.